So what does it mean to be on your Grizzly? It means hard work, dedication, and it means progress beyond your Grizzly. Hard work, dedication, and progress.
I'm on my Grizzly, y'all. I'm on my Grizzly. I'm on my Grizzly, y'all. I'm on my Grizzly. I'm on my Grizzly, y'all. I'm on my Grizzly. And if you're busy making moves, say it with me. I'm on my Grizzly, y'all. I'm on my Grizzly. I'm on my Grizzly, y'all. I'm on my Grizzly. I'm on my Grizzly, y'all. I'm on my Grizzly. And if you're busy making moves, say it with me.
Coming to you from the City of Angels, this is the Grizzly Podcast with Irvin Scott and Melissa Santos.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Grizzly Podcast. This is season 2. I am your host, Irvin Scott.
What's up? What's up? I'm Melissa Santos, your host, also with the most. What's up?
So today we got a special guest joining us. We're joined by actor, director, producer, fashion designer, professional wrestler himself, David Arquette. Let's make some noise for this man. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
David.
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're
doing
good.
okay. Yeah,
Nice to have you here.
Yeah. Thanks for being a part of the show. We're so happy that you're here. Well, we've got so much to talk about. It'll be interesting because, I just heard that you announced your retirement for professional wrestling. I know we got a lot of wrestling fans that actually tune into the show, so they'll probably want to hear about your run and how, that's led to your retirement now. So we'll talk about all kinds of stuff. But anyway, pandemic era, you adjusting?
Yeah, it's going all right. I mean, I just wrestled on was it Sunday or Monday? Saturday with Wrestling Pro Wrestling. So I'm not sure I'm retired. My body can't take it. It's more like it, but officially retired. I think I'm gonna retire a lot like Terry Funk. So I'll always be retired.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Try to call it as the final because who knows? I don't know.
It's going to be your gimmick. Like you're just always retiring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, Ric Flair did the same thing. He wrestled and then he went over to TNA and then he came back and did some other stuff with Hogan. It's crazy. So it's all good. You're pulling the Terry Funk.
Yeah, exactly.
You said your body. So how's it feeling after wrestling in that match? Are you feeling?
Well, I didn't take any bombs. It was just more of a comedy thing. I was a character named Rob Boss. So I was like a television painter turned wrestler.
It's like the modern Bob Ross.
You brought out like the whole canvas and you were just like.
Yeah, I painted a whole painting and then I had a little pet skunk with me because he used to collect take care of animals when they got hurt. So I had this little animal, and then it went and attacked Kid Isaac, and it was just a lot of fun. It's a great company over there, Wrestling Pro Wrestling. If you guys aren't familiar, it's pretty bizarre. You got to check them out.
That's phenomenal.
It's all comedy.
Yeah. Okay. And you commit completely to it. Like you watching in the ring. I mean, obviously I had, I got to announce you a couple of times at Bar Wrestling, and we've, just briefly worked together, but just seeing you just like commit fully, like it's just really a treat to see that and just see just your love for wrestling in general. And this has been obviously a long time. You've been, you're a champion, you've been doing this for a while, and it's just to be able to see you commit fully like that. It's just really fun. And it's a treat. So now I have to go watch what you just did.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad we got to work together, and it was something I love forever. I'm more of a fan, honestly. I act like a wrestler sometimes, but a fan of it. And my favorite part of wrestling is being in the audience and watching and cheering along and being with the other fans and just joking with them. And, that's always been my favorite part. So it's fun to get in the ring. It's incredibly painful and dangerous and takes so much work and focus. It's really cool when you start doing it because then you get sort of like an ability to slow it down a lot, and you could take your time more, and you could be in the moment more, and you can get less rattled by things. Like when you first start, it's like everything's like, oh, it's taking so long, and it's not taking long at all. It's just taking long in your head.
So David, I got to ask you, were you always a wrestling fan, or did you become a fan when you were working on the Ready to Rumble movie?
No, I was a fan, when I was a kid, and just, loving wrestling and that whole era of Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, Macho Man, Miss Elizabeth, and that whole world, Junkyard Dog and Jimmy Superfly Snuka. I just loved all of that whole time period. So that really, to me, is what I fell in love with. And then I'd go to wrestling shows, house shows, and all this. So, so then when I read the script to Ready to Rumble, I was like, oh, Macho Man was like on the 6th page or something. I was like, are you talking like real, like the actual Macho Man? And they're like, yeah, we got him and he's going to be in it. I was like, I'll do it. So that was, I love that movie. I mean, some people didn't like it when it first came out because they thought we were making fun of wrestling or putting down fans, but we're just, it's an over the top comedy. You got to understand the tone that they were going for. And I think since it came out, it's been, better received.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a cult favorite. I remember when I watched it, I enjoyed it, and that was a great time for wrestling too. We had the Attitude Era, we had WWE at the time, WWF competing with WCW. And speaking of WCW, you get some criticism over the years. I'm sure you became their WCW World Heavyweight Champ there, and this all went down in a tag team match. It was yourself, Diamond Dallas Page. You both teamed up against Eric Bischoff and Jeff Jarrett. Whoever won the match would become the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. So you became the champ. What was your reaction when you became the champion?
Well, when they first told me, I told them that this is a terrible idea. We shouldn't do this. No, what are you talking about? But they explained it. And they also said that you'll be able to stay on till the next pay-per-view. I was like, do you mean I get to travel with you guys? Like with Hulk Hogan and, the thing, I get to travel. And they're like, yeah, you're going to be traveling. You're going to be the champion. So it was kind of like a dream. I think a lot of wrestling fans see their favorite wrestlers hold up the belt. And they're like, yeah, that's us. We won that. You know what I mean? That's our guy, So then to be able to hold it, I was like, oh man. But I didn't really take into consideration all of what that means, the history of it, all of the sacrifice that the people, in the locker room have gone through. And it really hit me when, after I'd become the champion, I was sitting in the locker room with Booker T and everyone was pissed. I said, Book, how many times have you been champion? He said, I've never been the champion. And that's when it was like, oh shit. So the next time they had me go out, I pulled his shoot or however you say.
Yeah.
But I got the mic and I was like, I don't deserve to be champion. Booker T deserves to be champion. Chris Canyon deserves to be champion. So I did try to sort of, pay them respect. But, it was, I wouldn't have changed anything for the world, it especially going back and really getting to know this business, from the locker rooms, from the fans, from the roads. That's really where you learn it. And then you see how painful it is, man. I'd tell people you see someone backstage and they're like, oh, my fucking back, or whatever. I said, oh, don't worry about your back. Your neck's going to hurt worse after this next match. And then it's your leg and then it's your head. You're constantly trading injuries. So everything's in pain.
Did you feel when you won the World Heavyweight Championship, though, we mentioned that you were criticized for years. Did that bother you, or did you just kind of learn to ignore it?
You learn to ignore it, but I've never been a punk. If somebody's gonna come up or I know I don't like getting fights. I don't try to get in fights. I try to avoid them. I try to treat everyone with respect. But I'm also not a punk, and I'm not going to be punked by people. And I felt like I was just getting bullied. That's really what pissed me off, because then I was like, well, fuck you guys. I'll show you that I can at least do something in the ring or find out why they hated me so much, But I think, for people who've seen the documentary, who've sort of gone along with it, they get where I'm coming from now. And that's really what I just wanted to do, is just make a love letter to wrestling and just sort of, let them know that I didn't mean any disrespect. And and that I'm a champion. You can't take that away from me.
Absolutely. They can't ever take that away from you, man. And especially because, you know, I feel like out of all celebrities that have actually, you know, entertained the idea of wrestling, you were actually somebody that actually took it serious because you began training for wrestling and you trained with professional wrestler Peter Avalon. What was that like training with Peter?
Oh, Peter Avalon's just the baddest. On top of just being an incredible wrestler and in-ring performer, and he's got a comedic timing that still hasn't even been tapped into nearly as much as it could be. The guy's like just a genius, and he's also amazing producer and booker, and he runs, you know, championship wrestling from Arizona, and he's just a badass, and it was great. I mean, it's tough because coming into it, you kind of don't know this world. You don't know half the things they're telling you. Even now, even every time I learned something new. I learned something new, and I learned stuff. So it's hard. You know, you're learning these things, and it's like it takes almost like months to understand. Oh, you know, you put someone in a headlock, and you sort of, you know, get your posture right. So it's a great image for everybody. It shows, you know, strength. You know, it's just these little things like you get hit and then you know, go from one corner to the next. So you're playing different sides of the arena. Like he teaches these little subtle things on top of also, you know, amazing tricks with the psychology of telling a story in the ring is one of the most important things he taught me, which RJ City helped me a lot with too. Jack Perry, that's all of them. Like when you can tell a good in-ring story without any dialogue necessarily. I mean, you could have like someone cut a promo, but mainly it's just like, what are we seeing? Or what are we feeling? You know, how can we get them invested? Then you learn the little tricks of like, you know, going up to the top rope and then, you know, something happens where you just tease that and then you go have some more of your match and then you go back up and then you pay off to the bigger pot because you built this anticipation. It's these little things that you learn along the way that you have to pay attention to. And if you don't, then you'll just have like sort of a cool match with some cool moves, but you're not going to have the audience like feeling. And that's where I started really enjoying the process, where you can come out and you can like talk to someone who's one of the audience members or one of the fans, and you could have this moment with them, like, oh, I think this guy's gonna kill me, and like stumble away. But you shared that right there, and then it made it real for them, and it included them in it, and then like they're gonna scream louder. So there's all these little fun tricks you learn, and I just love, like, one of my favorite things is getting out of the ring, and then like, you know, me and Ethan Page had a great match up from Windsor at his promotion, and that was really fun because we, like, you know, he was really gracious in general. I mean, there were a couple guys that were these legends like him and Colt Cabana who just sort of like, you know, I don't know, they treated me with respect, and they allowed me to win. You know, I don't know how much I'm gonna break kayfabe here, but you know, it's guys like that get it in a way where they're like, no, it's, you know, their ego's not as involved. And in wrestling, you need a huge ego, just like in acting. But the deal is, like, you have to, you know, it's best for your own personal life if you can understand the ego and understand, like, how to sort of keep it in check, because it can blow up and then you become, like, out of touch. And that's what you want to avoid.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you mentioned RJ City earlier. I know you made your debut match with him in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. And, you know, you wrestled there, and then you later wrestled in Joey Janela's LA Confidential event. I know you had that death match with Nick Gage. That was a crazy match. I saw, you know, footage online. I know you suffered a severe cut in the neck, which caused you to bleed profusely. You were hospitalized. You were operated on. What was going through your mind when all this was going on?
Oh, that was just a crazy match. I mean, I I was in LA. It was during the whole run. I was supposed to have done spring break a while back with Joey Janela, and that never worked out. So yeah, I think Joey Ryan got injured, and then I was there, and they asked me to do it, and I knew like sort of what I was getting into. I knew that if I could win over the deathmatch fans, I can kind of win over any kind of most of the fans, not the hardcore like super marky marks, but aside from that, I knew that if I could sort of like show them that I was tough enough to at least take on like one of the scarier guys in the business, that I at least prove I'm not scared of anyone. What I mean? So it was what it was. There's a lot of stuff that went down that I talked about already in like the dark side of the ring or whatever. There's other elements of it. It's fine. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
Is there a different preparation that you feel going into like a death match that differs from any other, like I would say regular match? I hate to say like regular match, right? But with like someone like Nick Gage, like he is so hardcore. Like that's not even a gimmick. Like who he is in the ring and just everyday life is just really a representation of him, right? And like his past and like everything he's gone through. So what is it like going into like a ring with someone like that you're like, oh shit, like this guy is hardcore, right? What's that like for you?
I mean, I don't know.
Do you feel different going into it? Like, is it a different?
I'm not scared of it.
Like, fuck it, like whatever, wrestling, and you just do it. Like, I don't know what that's like. I know I get scared just even watching it. Like, I'm like, oh fuck, like.
I ain't scared. I'm not scared of him. I'm just not. I mean, I think
it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
I can wear fucking like 12 layers of pants on too, and fucking, you know what I mean? Whatever. I'm a little pissed about it all, to be honest with you. So I don't want to go down that road too much.
Okay.
Because, I did the match, knowing that I was doing this fucking documentary. I didn't get paid for it. Got stabbed in the fucking neck. And then I had to like dance around and beg them to fucking sign the thing. They tried to do a fucking carny shakedown. So yeah, that shit pisses me off.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of shit about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think he's fucking. I'm happy that he's having this moment, and I got calls after that happened, like, to blacklist him. I was like, I don't want this guy blacklisted. It's his business and his career. It was my fault that I pulled the thing. It was his fault that he didn't pull the fucking thing away from my neck. But, if he's not man enough to admit his fucking problem with that whole situation or his side of it, then that's on him. Fuck him.
All right. But I like that you're so raw and just like fucking honest, and that's cool. And this is what we're about, So.
Listen, I've been cool about the whole thing. Now he's like talking shit. Yeah, I was pissed after he stabbed me in the fucking neck. And then I get run up by TMZ, and then they said, what do you think? And I said, well, I wouldn't wrestle him again, but if we wanted to fight, we could fight.
Oh, shit. All right.
Well, hey, at the end of the day, it's all entertainment. And speaking of entertainment,
that's what I thought.
No, not really. Clearly, it isn't all entertainment.
Well,
listen,
I'll say
I got
this.
Fucking my boys too. So whatever. This is like, it's bullshit is what it is. It's like, if it is wrestling, then let's fucking treat it like wrestling. Let's have some respect for each other. Okay. If it's not, then, don't pull your shit. And then don't think I'm not going to pull my shit.
And that's the thing, like, it's about respect. And a lot of times you have people that like shoot on each other, right? And that's why, like, and unfortunately, like, that's, I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it because someone needs to say it. I mean, this was him going hard, like going really hard and kind of shooting on you. Like, you got fucking.
Yeah, but it was even beyond that. I mean,
it's just like no respect.
Things like, there's a way to take somebody in the corner where you're not gonna fucking like totally fuck them up. You know what I mean? There's certain things that were bullshit in that match. If he doesn't fucking understand that, or at least own his side of it, then fuck him. And that's what I'm pissed about. I came out, I said my side. I said it was my fault I pulled his legs. Then he starts talking shit about me. So fuck you.
You need to say what you need to say, right? And again, you're David Arquette. Like, say what you need to say. It's all good.
I don't know. I'm pretty free with my words. I'm pretty honest. I'm pretty like straightforward. So, it is what it is.
You're a respected actor. You're part of the Arquette family. I know your grandfather was actor and comedian Cliff Arquette. He was best known for his persona, Charlie Weaver. Your dad was Louis Arquette. Your mom was Marty Arquette. I mean, your whole family is involved in the entertainment business. So what's it like being a part of a family like that, like the Arquettes?
Born on a commune in Virginia. It's just how I grew up. We didn't grow up like this, Hollywood elite family. My sister Rosanna kind of was the second generation, and she made it on her own. She came out to Hollywood when she's 15 and, stayed with the family, a friend of our families, and became an actress and started this second generation. My father is an actor, my grandfather. So yeah, it's in our blood. It gives you a lot of understanding of the business, but there's ups and downs with it. Shortly after that, we moved to Chicago, then LA.
Okay. What was it like just growing up there, if you remember any of it?
I was really young when I was on the commune. So all I remember like fireflies and just, being a kid and running around sort of in Virginia. But then we moved to Chicago, and I love Bozo the Clown. He was really big there. So I fell in love with clowns, and I still love clowns. And then we moved out to Los Angeles. I didn't get my first acting role until I was 17. And that was because I started doing plays in high school, and it really started getting me to, hone my craft. But yeah, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of like commitment. If you want to act or anything, it's pretty much all rejection. Like you're just constantly being rejected, judged. People have opinions of you. People talk about you more than you're used to. Your privacy is completely lost. So there's a lot of like these different things, but then it's also great when you get a incredible movie or something, and then you can make believe you're a cowboy or superhero or something. That's always really fun. You can live all these different lives, but it does take a lot of work. It does take a lot of thick skin. It's hard to do like projects that you're always really proud of. There's a lot of elements within acting that you're not in control of, like the script or the direction. Sometimes when you get older and when you get more sort of powerful in the business, you can sort of pull some more weight. So there's all these like tiers and sort of levels you can be in, but most of all, it's up to you and just sort of having a thick skin.
Now, you've been in numerous films. You were in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You were in Airheads, Never Been Kissed with Drew Barrymore, C-Spot Run, Eight-Legged Freaks. We talked about Ready to Rumble earlier. Out of all the film projects that you've been a part of, which one was your favorite?
On Scream, I met my ex, who we ended up having my daughter, Coco. So the fact that, she's in my life is really the most important thing. And I got to work with Wes Craven, who ended up being like one of the huge mentors in my life. So that whole film series is really important to me. Aside from that, I got to work with Marlon Brando once, which was like a dream come true. But I've worked at opposite Jeff Bridges, Steve Buscemi, Harvey Keitel, William Macy. Working with really great actors opposite them is always a really great experience.
Yeah, and you mentioned Scream. You actually beat me to it. I was actually going to get to it as well. But your role in Scream, Dewey Riley. Man, Scream is such a slasher film favorite. Everybody talks about it to this day. There's been numerous sequels. You actually won a Teen Choice Award and 2 Blockbuster Entertainment Awards for your role in that movie. Is that correct?
Oh, I think so. I don't know. I can't remember.
It's been so long, I'm sure.
Those kind of awards are kind of just more like press awards. Like they're more like for, I mean, like People's Choice or something where, Teen's Choice, or when the fans pick you, it's always an honor and everything. But yeah, I don't know. It's always so weird.
I used to like message, call in. I'm like, oh, we're voting, and I remember that. I remember actually asking.
Oh my gosh!
Like, oh, I'm gonna pick him. I'm gonna pick David. So I feel like that is a lot for the fans too, to see like their favorites, like we picking you, almost like wrestling, right? You win, and it's like, he won. Like we love him so much. It's kind of makes you feel good being involved somehow. I feel like that's what that was like. But and just watching you, just like, and you're so versatile. Like you do everything. Like you're so good in all these different roles. Like it's a pleasure to watch you. So again, I'm not trying to fangirl on you because I'm and everything, but it's just it is really awesome to see you and then work with you in different seeing you and then working with you and then interviewing you. It's just like, for me, it's a treat, But
thank you.
we love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you I want some chisme on how you, because I love Courteney. Okay. And we all love Courteney Cox. How did that even happen without you getting you in trouble with your wife now? How did that happen? Can we talk about that? That's
you guys met on set, right?
Kind of stuff I love to hear about. You guys met on set, but like, what would happen? Were you guys like crafty? Like, what is it? You guys met, like eyes met, like what? What did you pursue her first? Did she like, what happened? Obviously you guys worked very closely together, but how did that become something like more?
We met at like a dinner that Wes had done for the cast all meet before, and then she left pretty early, and I left right after her, and then I saw her car taking off, so I tried to kind of follow her, but she had a Porsche and I had some old car, so she was gone.
Catch up. So how did you eventually catch up to her?
Then we met back up in Santa Rosa, and it was just flirty and just sort of like, just kind of grew. I don't know. How
does David Arquette flirt?
Oh no. I don't anymore. So yeah.
Okay, that's it. It's done. He's done now. I've never seen David turn red.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But
you're not gonna get you in trouble.
Yeah, but David, we'll say this, you guys met in 96 on the set of the movie. You guys married in 1999. You both have a daughter, like you mentioned earlier, your daughter, Coco. And how old is Coco now, by the way?
Coco is 17.
Right on. Okay. How's it like co-parenting? I know you guys have worked things out and you guys get along very well now. I'm sure it was probably tough for your daughter. And I know you had mentioned it in the interviews in the past. What's that relationship like now?
Oh, it's great. I don't know. She's 17, so the whole, I just pray, there's a lot of, I don't know, it's a scary world right now. So, but, at some point you look at your kids and you're like, are they good people? Are they kind? Do they care about others? And everyone makes mistakes or does their things, but as long as they're like good people and they're kind, I don't know, that's what I look for. But I don't know, it's been great to co-parent. I'm really proud of my daughter. She's like my favorite person, just being my daughter and just spending some time with her. Just when they're in their teens, they don't want to hang out with you too much. So there's that.
Yeah. Okay.
They'll hang out with you again. I feel like that's a phase for sure. Like they go through this phase and they're just like, oh, okay, I'm kind of learning about myself. And then they'll just gravitate right back to you. You know what I mean? So I think that's 17, 18. I think she's kind of making her rounds now back to dad to be fully that. Cause I'm sure you miss like the age where all they need is you. I have a 3.5-year-old and like, I'm literally her entire world. So I totally get it. It is such a good age. Like I get all the kisses and the snuggles and I'm like, oh God.
Is Coco, is she interested in the entertainment industry as well? Like, does she like acting?
She does. She loves singing and acting and performing.
you later remarried. I know you just recently got married. I want to say last year, right? You married Christina McLarty, who's now in Arquette. So congratulations to you both. I know you both have 2 kids as well. And you have 2 sons. It's Charlie West and Augustus Alexis Arquette. So what's that whole thing like now? You know, you have a new family. You have 2 new kids, your new wife. How you feeling? You feeling happy?
Yeah, I'm totally feeling happy. It's fun. I mean, they're crazy. Boys are nuts compared to girls, at least in my case. But yeah, we've been having a lot of fun. They're silly and just cute. I mean, I don't know that I love being a father. I love watching them grow and learn stuff and seeing their individual personalities in all of them.
Okay. And you and your wife, you guys got married last year during the pandemic, right?
Yeah. She's a badass. I mean, my wife, she produced the documentary, but she's been producing a bunch of stuff. We are producing the Magic Johnson documentary coming out soon for XTR.
When is that going to come out? Do you guys have like a date yet, or?
No, there'll be announcements pretty soon, but yeah, it's a really exciting project. We have a bunch of stuff we've been working on. I mean, there's tons of stuff. I have a Domino that just came out, which is the funny comedy, Snoop Dogg. nice hood style comedy, like Fridays or something.
You know, it's interesting that, you mentioned all these people, right? Because, we talked about earlier the World Heavyweight Championship. You pinned our friend and our past guest, Eric Bischoff, for that title. You've also been in movies with another friend of ours who's also a friend of yours, Ali Gonino. She was on our show a couple episodes back. I know you guys did that movie, right? Yeah. You guys did the Voltage movie, right?
Yeah. Ali's amazing. She's such an incredible singer, wonderful person. Yeah, we did High Voltage. It's a sort of a fun movie. I mean, a cool movie and all, but certain things, like, I don't know, you have to see certain things, because sometimes when you read an independent script, you'll set out to do it, and then budget concerns come in. So they'll say, like, we got to take out this car crash, but the car crash is kind of like what the whole thing's about. It's like, it's still going to be about that. We just can't see the car crash. It's like, you don't see the car crash. How are you going to? So there's all these little things that sometimes sort of change the direction of a thing. And in that, it was a cool film, but I would have liked to see the end sort of, be a little bigger.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that. That was actually really interesting. I got to check it out. Fun movie. Yeah, definitely check it out. And we talked about Scream earlier. I know you said that you were very proud of that movie and being a part of that series. Do you go to conventions and do you meet a lot of people that are actually so intrigued with this movie? Like, they're so just, they're big fans of this movie, I'm sure. So do you ever meet people that just come up to you and want to just take pictures with you, and they just want to ask you about the role all the time?
Yeah, I mean, I can get by pretty good. I mean, fans come up a lot, but I love fans. I love, I have an interesting relationship with fans. I feel like my fans kind of feel like they're more my friends, which I like. I don't like the elite elements of some of celebrity. I don't like, my philosophy is that, I'm a champion. You're a champion. I'm the greatest in my world and you're the greatest in yours. So what the way I look at it is, I don't look down at anybody, but I don't look up at anybody either. I look you right in the eye. And that's the way I like to approach stuff. So there's a whole element within Hollywood, within this whole business, within the whole sort of entertainment world, even wrestling world, where put people on pedestals and stuff. That's fine and everything, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah. I had asked you about your wife earlier. How did you guys meet? Because I know she's an entertainment host, and I know she was working for Entertainment Tonight. You got to be a part of that show a couple of times. Did you guys meet on set for that show? Or
Yeah, we had met before in an interview for Scream 4. And then I met her on an 80s boat party in LA. It was just some 4th of July party. And we were just sort of both feeling awkward. But, we started talking, flirting. Then she was playing hard to get forever. So I like bailed. And then my friend who was with her friend, or hanging out with her friend, called me back. He said, "Where'd you go? I think she likes you." I was like, "Really?" So I went back, but I'd bought a suit in the meantime, and I went back in a suit. She was like, "Did you change?" I was like, "I know, I'm weird."
So awesome, man. So, congratulations again on the marriage and your 2 children. One thing I did notice is that your new baby, your new son, Augustus, Alexis is the middle name. I know that's paying tribute to your late sister, Alexis Arquette. She's no longer with us now, but you guys were very close.
Yeah, I loved Alexis. We shared a room growing up, for years. Like, I learned art from Alexis, and just so much. Alexis' sense of humor was like fucking out of this world. It's like so unique and hilarious. You could watch like Jerry Springer with her, or like just infomercials, and she'd make it the funniest thing you've ever seen. You just be like, that's what I loved about Alexis. And then Luke Perry was really good friends with Alexis too. Watching those two together, like watch something or talk or joke, was just really fun. They had a really great sort of dynamic with each other. They were just, I don't know, Alexis had this way of just being incredibly funny, like cutting, but also silly, self-deprecating, really fun.
Yeah. What's your relationship like with your other 2 sisters, Patricia and Rosanna?
They're great. I mean, I love my sisters. They're my heroes. They're both like these incredible, they stand up for different causes. They support all these incredible charities, and they're also brilliant actresses. So yeah, I'm super proud of my family. And my brother Richmond, he's an incredible actor. He's been in almost all of the David Fincher movies. He's the guy who delivered the box at the end of 7. They're like, "What's in the box?" That's my favorite Arquette title, or credit, because it's like, it's the guy, the delivery guy in 7. It's just the best.
That's so awesome. Do you guys see yourselves working together as a family on any other future projects?
Yeah, you'd think like somebody, it's hard. Like you could put something together. When you put something together, it takes pretty much like 2 or 3 years to really put something together. 4 years. I'm working on something now that's taken me 15 years. I have another script I wrote. It's taken me 10 years. So yeah, there's a lot of different projects at different points, but I would love to act opposite my family members. I've had the opportunity a couple times, and it's always been kind of really, meaningful. You can when you have scenes with people you have a deep relationship with, you can start tapping into like some emotional elements that just ground it. So you know what I mean? Like the line between acting and like what's going on becomes really, thin. And then it becomes super real for people. And it's like the emotion, the love, the like anger, and all that shit is real.
David, I know you had a film and TV production company with Courteney. It was Coquette. Is that still going on between you guys? Do you guys still create projects together, or is that something that?
Yeah, we don't have any projects at the moment. No, but yeah, we had a production company for a long time. We did a lot of really cool things. Did a show called a Celebrity Name Game, among others. And Dirt, a show that she did. So yeah, we had fun. We produced a bunch of stuff, but now I have a production company with Christina, and we're doing a bunch of stuff. And we helped start a documentary company called XTR. And then there's this incredible documentary streaming service called Documentary Plus, which anyone can get on your app store, Documentary Plus, and it's free documentaries. There's no real ads. It's just sort of like a library for documentaries, for some of the finest documentaries ever made, like a
Nice.
hub.
Okay, cool. And you have a couple of your projects on there as well, featured?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff on there. They have over 200 really incredible films.
Wow, awesome. That's good to know. So I'm going to have to ask back to wrestling, and I have to. So you're really not retired, right? Can we get that on camera one more time? So
yeah, you know,
people are a little confused.
Because I read that you were retired.
I'm like low-key a little sad, and it's like still on my mind. Like, no, what? So when are you going to unretire so I can be there?
I'm not sure if I'm going to I just never really officially retired. I think if you're supposed to go on your back. So I did, I don't know. I never had the experience of that next level. Like all of the training that I've had to do is, just like everyone else, just sort of not like everyone else, but it's, I've never had the next level, of training. You know what I mean? I've never had the group of, Peter Avalon knowledgeable people around, or even people who have even more experience, these legends. You go into some of these places and you really, it's hard. I'm sure it's crazy, but you get some insight. There's just little things, and it's hard to read. I don't know. Wrestling's a really difficult business to understand the intricacies of. And I try to, but I still don't get it. But if I were to ever return, I'd like to at least get up to speed to a point of really being able to train, really getting into a place where I could, get a foam pit and really try some cool shit. Because if I was to come back in any way, I'd want it to be, more than, I don't know. You know what? I really should. It's just the thought of it. I'm thinking about doing these things, and everything's just so painful. Well, if you've ever broken a rib,
all of it is painful. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm just from
breaking ribs and taking bumps are the most painful things.
Just don't take a bump, then. Don't bump.
Oh, I know. But I don't know how to say no.
I know you want to, but maybe you
I know.
Come in and just manage someone, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's sort of
manage them and
maybe be a mouthpiece for somebody for sure.
I'm not that great on the mic though. I mean, I can, but I've never had the right coaching. Everybody's kind of I don't know. I would love I don't know.
You should manage Brian. Just come in and just manage him. He's great. He's on his
That's a big dude, man.
He's incredible. I love what he's doing over there.
Yeah, I think finally, maybe
he's such a badass.
There's just companies now that I feel like there's just more opportunity. I feel bigger, it's not just one big company. I mean, not that it was just one big company, but I feel like there's another company that is dominating now. So it's really interesting to see, especially when they release people and then this company picks up everyone who's awesome, who's been released. So we're seeing definitely a shift in wrestling. So just wondering if you can be part of that shift or see yourself doing that.
I don't know. I love the wrestling business. I love the wrestling business. I don't know. I love wrestling. But like I said before, my favorite part is being a fan. So I should probably just stay in that lane. You know what I mean?
But if you were to join a company, any company in the world, where would you go?
I don't know. I mean, I really don't. Yeah, I don't know. I had a really great time at wrestling, pro wrestling. That to me was my speed.
So
that's the kind of company I like.
So let me ask you this. So where did the retirement announcement come from? Because I read that online and I just figured that it was true, but
I just said, I'm sure it was in an interview. I'm not wrestling anymore. I guess I'm retired from wrestling. And the thing was, my movie came out right at the beginning of the pandemic, and that was going to be the time where I was going to do the run of wrestling to sort of promote the movie and then, wrap it all up at the end. And then it sort of the pandemic happened and the whole world changed. And then it just sort of, I don't know. I think it'd be probably best if I didn't wrestle anymore or did something.
No.
I might not be around it anymore after my shoot on Nick Gage.
Just don't fuck with Nick and we'll be fine.
Hey.
It's fine. So you are working on a bunch, you said you have some projects that you're working on right now, things that we can talk about. I know you were doing a lot of PR for that, for what's going on right now with you. So can you talk about that right now? Can you share with our viewers? Some people are going to be listening. Some people will be actually watching as well. So for those listening and watching, what's up? What's going on?
Well, I did a pilot called Hot Pink with Sarah Michelle Gellar, which was cool. Yeah, she's awesome.
That's cool.
And then I have a few things coming out of a film called Boarding House Reach, which is another cool independent art film. And that's about it. I mean, I have a few things, that should be coming out of a movie called The Miseducation of Bindu. And
what is that about?
The Miseducation of Bindu is about a East Indian girl who is having a real hard time in high school, and she's trying to get a paper signed, so she has to raise some money to pay for this test. But then it does this, she goes down the spiral of bad behavior, and for her family, it's she gets scared. But I play her stepdad.
You're hardworking, but there's that fire in you, and I see it because I've seen it in your acting, but also seen it in when you're in the ring. You're just committed, and I can tell when you set yourself set a goal, you're I'm gonna do this thing. So is there something that you set your mind on, and you're okay, now I'm gonna do this next? Is there something, I don't know, that we might see in the future that you're oh, this is what I'm, the world might see from you, something different?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's something I'm working on I've been working on that's big.
I swear.
People will know more about come around Halloween.
Okay.
But yeah, Scream 5's coming out January 14th, I think, 2022. So that'll be exciting for fans. And then my friend Cliff Dorfman and I are have been writing this project for Heavy Metal magazine. So we'll have a little 10-page comic strip coming out in one of their episodes, issues coming up.
Very, very cool. I felt it. I was oh, he's doing something. He's just not saying it. There's something happening. Well, that's good. I mean, I know we're all looking forward to that and seeing you continue to evolve as an artist in every way. So that's very, very cool.
For anybody listening or watching right now, if you could offer some sort of advice to anybody just, on their hustle, pursuing their dreams, what would you say to them, David?
I do it as an analogy of cleaning up your garage or something, or cleaning up your room. If you look at it, if it's a real mess, you just oh, I can't do it. You kind of avoid it. It's just, but then once you get in there and you start picking up the clothes, you start picking up the dirty dishes, you start making your bed, washing your clothes, and clean it all up, vacuum, and then it's all clean. It's just those little steps. So everything needs those little steps. And a lot of it has to take with you first have to clean up your room. Okay, then you cleaned your room up. So once you have your room, you have to go for, make sure you get something healthy to eat, go for a hike or walk around the block if you can, or whatever, or do something to just get your heart going. Because that's your mental and your body, and then your environment, you're improving. So then you're okay, then let's get down to business. Then business is about picking the projects, making lists of what you have to do, getting the right people connected to it in the right way. You have to vet people. You have to make sure they're the right fit with the other people or whatever. But it's always good if you're working on something that somebody else is passionate about or has knowledge about, and they're willing to work with you. It's always good to work with people. a lot of people will try to say like, oh, I got to hold on to this, or like, this is mine. Where sometimes it's like the show we did, Celebrity Name Game. Like, it was a cool show, but then we got like, Craig Ferguson, and then Fremantle Entertainment, and like these incredible partners who, when they do business, like, they just elevate everybody. So a lot of the time people are looking at like just to elevate yourself, but sometimes it's about the project and how can you elevate the project. That's an important way. And then just cracking away at it. Like you work at it. You work at it every day. There's an amazing book called On Writing by Stephen King. But if you're ever interested in writing anything, he kind of breaks down his process, and he's such a prolific writer that it really kind of helps to read it, because, say to tell you to like set a certain time, a certain fee, you sit at your typewriter or computer, you have your tea that you like drinking or whatever it is for you. You know what I mean? It's just that being methodical about that. And then you just commit to writing whatever it is for that amount of time. And it's the same sort of thing, whatever your goal is, whatever project you're working on, you just keep kind of, going after it. And, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to learn from them. You're going to be able to like, some things will blow up completely and you'll have to figure that out. And some projects, after all that, just don't work. And that happens too. So that shouldn't deter you. You just, I like having sort of a few different projects. You have to be a little careful because you don't want to like, take energy and time away from the ones you really want to get going. But it is good to have a few things going, and it's good to just keep working on them all the time. You sort of, set things up and knock them down.
I like that. You talked about making sure your environment is like removed of clutter, right? Like just keeping everything in track. I know. It happens. Oh, Dave, that's not even that bad. That's not even that bad. But you're like, okay, everything you're making sure everything has its place, right? And maybe it's not. Maybe it does get cluttery, but you're like, no, I'm going to deal with that and continue to grind through that, and you'll continue to work. But what I really feel like really stood out to me is you said you surround yourself by people that elevate your projects. So that's important, right? Like you work with people that might be better at you than this one thing, and is going to bring up and elevate like your consciousness, if you will, right? So, and help you like really, really work these projects out to make them better. And that's incredible, right? I feel like that's probably the secret of like any like great company, or it's that, or even a great group of friends. Like everyone just elevates each other, and then we're throwing ideas around. So I think that's great. So surround yourself with like-minded individuals that are going to elevate you in anything that you do. I think that's really important.
For sure, especially friends that like are there for you and supportive. Because there can be a lot of haters out there. I mean, look, RJ City's my friend.
Hey, well, guess what, man? You got some new friends in us. How about that?
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Love it. Yeah, David, thank you so much, man, for being a part of the show. For anybody interested in knowing more about you, where can they find you? Social media, your website, what's going on? Where can they find you? Yeah,
at David Arquette on sort of Instagram, and I guess Twitter. Yeah.
Perfect. Scream 5 comes out next year, so we'll definitely make sure we're watching, and we'll stay in touch, man. Thanks again for being a part of the show.
Thank you so much, David. We appreciate it.
Stay on your Grizzly, man. Take care.
Later.
See ya.
Get it, pop. Let's get it.
Yo, that's what I'm talking about.
Hi, and welcome to Trademark Expediters. Whether you need a trademark or copyright, we can help make the process easy and affordable. Protect your company name, logo, or slogan with the trademark. Protect your songs, books, photographs, and other creative works with a copyright. Complete our easy online questionnaire in 15 minutes or less. Clear pricing, no hidden fees. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Get started today. Learn more at trademarkexpediters.com or call one of our friendly specialists at 1-800-510-1082. Affordable, easy, expedited service. Trademark Expediters.
Yo, turn it up. Hard work, dedication, and progress. Stay on your Grizzly. Yeah. Thanks for checking out another Grizzly Podcast episode. We'll see you next time.